Hey man, what's up? Welcome to another YouTube YouTube edition of the Chill Pill podcast. um, Still getting used to YouTube, but I'm pretty much an audio person. I think sometimes people forget that podcasting is it started out as just the audio, and that's how I was introduced to podcasting, and that's kind of how I like podcasting, just audio. But because you know YouTube is the whatever, so I had to start getting used to it. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I'm on here, I'm going to bring back a few of my topics from the previous episodes of my podcast and elaborate on them. You know what I'm saying? So look out for those too. Um, Heroes are human, right? It's not gonna be a long. Hopefully, I kind of say that every time, and it end up being about an hour. But hopefully, this shit will be shorter. You know what I'm saying? But one of the greatest things that I learned growing up, um, I just had a birthday, turned 31 years old on Juneteenth. Um, but one of the things that I've learned as I was sitting up that morning, that's Saturday, I had my kids with me and they woke me up, um, telling me happy birthday and, you know, kissed me in my bald head, you know what I'm saying? The shit made a nigga feel um, thankful to be alive to witness that, you know what I'm saying? I started, you know, once I got time to myself and woke up and shit like that, I started thinking about the friends that didn't make it to see the age that I turned. We all have friends that passed away due they met in untimely demise. So I thought about those guys, and I also I thought about my mother. God rest her soul. You know what I'm saying? I talked to my dad, I talked to my brother, um, my siblings told me happy birthday. Everybody that what I'm saying, they got love for me told me happy birthday, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So, but this topic has been on my mind for a minute because I feel like one of the greatest things that I learned growing up is that my heroes are human. You might be asking, what do you mean by heroes? What I mean is, see, I was born the, the youngest. You know what I'm saying? I was born the youngest. Um, so I had the opportunity to watch the people before me grow. You know what I'm saying? And go through life things and handle those things, you know? And when I was, like when you were young, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see like your mom, your dad, your brother, your grandparents, you don't really know much about their personal lives. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Until they grow up. I mean, until you grow up. You know what I'm saying? So as I'm getting older and I'm going through, you know, teenage years and early adulthood, you know what I'm saying? I'm making mistakes, but I feel like I'm learning from them. And once I started talking to, my dad and my brother, and remembering what my mother, what she told me about herself and um, my uncles, and what I'm saying, just everybody that had a sit down conversation with me about their lives. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, I was the youngest. You know what I'm saying? So By the time I was born, shit, everybody was, besides the brother that was closest to me, we're 13 years apart, but everybody else is far, far ahead, So we have, in my family dynamic, the age gap, the smallest age gap is 13 years, and it goes on from there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of bridge a generation to understand what what I was going through and what I'm going through at this time um, is somewhat normal. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the same things, but nonetheless, it's normal for us to go through shit and to try to create solutions to figure those things out and learn from those mistakes. And as I was talking to my brother last time, you know, I told him, I was like, man, I told this to him and my dad, I told him, I was like, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, one of the greatest lessons that I've learned was to learn that my heroes are human. Um, I look up to my brothers and sisters. I look up to my dad. I still look up to my mother, God rest her soul. I still look up to my grandmother, God rest her soul. Um, and pretty much my elders, regardless on whatever happened or whatever, just in the sense of them being a person, I look up to them because I've had the fortunate front seat to see so many people go and do things that are brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have the excuse to say, man, I never had the examples. I never had I had the examples. You know what I'm saying? And growing up in a place like South Dallas, where a lot of people don't have those examples, I was blessed to have those examples. You know what I'm saying? People that accomplish great feats in life. You know what I'm saying? People have met, success and done things and been places that I still aspire to go, and I have to remind myself that I still have so much time, to go and do those things. It's just that my life started out different. Some different things happened in my life, and that's that. If you listen to my podcast on Spotify and shit like that, I touch on, especially in the very early, in the very early episodes of my podcast. You know what I'm saying, which are very raw. I was doing them shits on a tablet, man. Like, I'm happy to say, I have around 400 to 500 subscribers, across all my platforms, including YouTube. My podcast is like on 6 or 7 platforms, so I'm still trying to get people to get over here. A lot of them, you know what I'm saying, were very early, and this whole podcast trying to market this shit. This is all different. This is all different. Like, this shit is weird. I'm an introvert, so being in front of the camera and the microphone and speaking, and as you can hear, I got a slight study of my voice, and my anxiety is kind of, what I'm saying, whatever. But just doing that and knowing that people have personally DM me and said, "Say, man, I appreciate you for what you're doing in your story. Your podcast has substance. It's raw. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not founded on anything that's goofy or no shit like that. It's founded on something that's real. When I put the pen to the pad or when I jot down notes in my phone throughout the day, all those are coming from a place of um they're coming from a place of pain or happiness or frustration. You know what I'm saying? But it comes from, you know what I'm saying, within my soul. That's where it's coming from. You know, and I kind of take a slice out of my life and put it on this digital platform, put it on the internet for hopefully um, somebody someday can get to it and say, man, you know, I listened to this podcast and this guy was just voicing his opinion and telling what he's been through, and I've been through the same thing, and I resonate with what you know what I'm saying. Like that's the type of shit that I want to get to. I know I have to increase my presence, but anyway, let me get back. That's another podcast for another day. Get back to the topic. Seeing my heroes. Um, you know, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, my uncles, um, anybody who had success in any type of way. I don't boil it, I don't boil it down to anything. Um, I'm a person who likes to pick people's brains. I ask questions because I want to know the who, what, whys, and what happens. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of these things, man, you know, I appreciate the people who are around me because, you know, with this, look, man, you know, in this world, people, they have the ability to hide behind shit like this camera. You know what I'm saying? They have, you know, the ability to hide behind a microphone. You know, so I can't hide nothing. You know what I'm saying? I can't hide, you know what I'm saying, my scars on my finger, you know what I'm saying, scars on my, you know what I'm saying, on my arms or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to because that represents a time in my life that I have to learn from. And I want my kids to see me the same way I seen the people in my life that I look up to. I want my kids to say, you know what, this is what dad's been through. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk to my oldest daughter all the time. You know what I'm saying? She's 12, and I talk to her about, hey, daddy had to go through some mental health issues. Daddy has been to a mental health facility. Daddy has to take care of some things, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And if you experience those things, I want you to be scared because we're all human beings. I want you to know that although I am your hero, I'm also human, which means I make mistakes, which means I have shortcomings. But it also means that I'll never give up because I'm still here. That's what I want her and my other two kids to understand. That's how I look at my parents, my mom and my dad. And my mom, God rest her soul, before she passed, she would just tell me about things about her life and things that she did, things that she experienced. And through all that, I was sitting here like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? Through all those things, you know what I'm saying? You're still here. You know, if you ever look at the episode with, go check out the episode on Spotify or uh, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Breaker, Anchor, Stitcher, Apple Podcast. I think it's still on Apple. I don't know. Fuck Apple. Apple be tripping. But I think it's on there. But anyway, you can find that. He tells about his story, things that he went through. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, you went through all that, but you're still here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know whether, you know what I'm saying, y'all get that or whoever see this, whenever you see it. Right now, I'm currently at 26 subscribers. Big ups. A nigga was at 15 about a month ago. So shout out to the 10 niggas, the 10, 12 motherfuckers who fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. But whoever watches this on the playback, whenever y'all watch it, I want y'all to understand and that, man, Whatever we go through is not for us. It's for us to learn, but it's those things like our memories and our experiences, in my opinion, are like chains. You know what I'm saying? Those memories and those experiences that we have from them, they all link together. You know what I'm saying? And like for instance, like with my shit, I'm gonna link my, you know what I'm saying, my experiences and my memories and whatever I dealt with to my children, so they can link theirs with mine, so they can know, you know what, Dad been here. I remember when he was telling me about this. You know what I'm saying? If I'm still here on Earth, they can say, okay, wait a minute, let me call Dad. Let me call Dad to see if he's been through this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to build. So just learn that our heroes are human. Excuse me, are very important. Because in our society today, um, the truth has little to no value. Um, Everybody wants a shit show. Everybody wants a circus. And I'm not saying to not go out there and have your fun, do whatever you want to do. But at a certain point, when it comes to you and yours and your family and your legacy, I want my last name to carry on. I don't want my shit to die or be attached to some fuck shit, because what what was in front of me, the legacy that my brothers and sisters and all them built, I don't want to be the one that let it down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that one to let it down. That's the standard. That's the minimum. The minimum is that you're decent. Like the minimum is that you're good or great even. You know what I'm saying? That's all they had to sneeze. That's the minimum. That's what what's to be expected. I want my children to be greater than I am. I want them to leave a legacy for the future generations. I want my son to leave a legacy. He's my only boy. He's my only boy. My daughters, if they choose, if they choose to get married, they will take on another man's name, which is it is how it is. But my son, I want him to leave a legacy. I want him to, what I'm saying? I want to create a legacy for him to hold up and to take the, past that, to receive that torch and say, Daddy, I got it. Because, one thing I've learned, I'm not going to be here on earth forever. That's just how it's made up. But what I create, this podcast, these videos, whatever the fuck, those will be able to live forever. These messages, whatever I spit, will be able to live forever. And that's why I want my shit to have some substance to it. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, I don't have no problem with playing around, doing all that other shit, but, man, at the end of the day, man, life is not a game. And there's somebody that's out there just like me who took their own life today. And maybe if they hear what I have to say, maybe it'll inspire them. You know what I'm saying? Those are just things that I learned from my heroes. The stories from my heroes saved me. You know what I'm saying? When I was having a child, I was, what I'm saying, at the end of my freshman year, really the beginning of my sophomore year, right before school started, my oldest daughter was born. So not only am I trying to figure out myself, I'm not playing ball no more. Now I have a baby. So damn, I really ain't even figured out myself, let alone here I am holding a baby. But this baby didn't ask to be here. So I have to be here for her. And okay, so let me pull from my resources. My dad, you know what I'm saying? My brother, my mom, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And what they taught me and what I learned from them, the advice, like I was a sponge. And I've always had the ability to be a sponge. You know what I'm saying? I always want to learn. I have a thirst for learning because learning excites me. I'm getting smarter. I don't ever want to get complacent. Just think I know it all. So I don't, cause you know that shit ain't that shit stupid though. You know what I'm saying? It's always something that's out there for you to learn. That's brand new. You know what I'm saying? If I fuck up, I want to have not only God's grace but the ability to say, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up, and I'm gonna be accountable for it. Now that I've done all that, what's the lesson in my fuck up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What's the lesson in my fuck up? What lesson can I learn from that? It's as simple as, you may have heard, if the stove is hot, you fucking with the stove, and you touch that stove and it burn you, now you know not to touch that stove. So in all phases of my life, I'm always have a thirst for learning, man, and I think that people should understand that the heroes are human. Start asking them questions, whether you have the luxury of having your grandmothers, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, anybody that's around you that you look up to. If you haven't already, start, what I'm saying, asking them about their origin story. See what they've been through. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a better understanding of what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? I recently went through a divorce. Well, my dad went through a divorce. You know what I'm saying? My brother has been through some pretty tough breakups. You know what I'm saying? My friends were children in the middle of middle of a divorce. Let me pull from all these beautiful sources to see all aspects of them because it's not just me; it's my children too. I never grew up in a what they call a broken household. I grew up with my mom and my dad in the house, so I want to know what are their perspectives on it. How do they feel? Not just me, because it's not about me at all. You know what I'm saying? Besides me teaching them and guiding them along the way to going wherever the fuck they have to go in life. You know what I'm saying? That's my job is to curate a path, or I don't know if curate is the right word, but it's to create a path for them to go. I'm the launching pad. You know what I'm saying? I want them to take my information, take take what I've learned, what I'm teaching them, what I've learned, and going. You know what I'm saying? Take the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? So I pull from all these sources, man, because that's one thing I think that's important that our society is missing. That we're human, we've lost problem solving, and we've lost critical thinking. Nobody wants to think for themselves anymore. Everybody wants to chase a trend. Everybody's looking for the answer to their problem elsewhere. Instead of reaching down internally for the solution to their answers, the solution to their problems, they're reaching for everything external, whether it's drugs, whether it's, what I'm saying, whatever the fuck it is. And that's coming from a place of experience because I did it too. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to my podcast, I tell you about all the shit. You know what I'm saying? I was, like I always say in my podcast, I had to fight and scratch and claw just to get back up on ground zero. And then I had to start going up. I was down, down, down all the way. I made attempts on my life. I've tried to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been to a mental facility. I've had to go to therapy. I had to go to a psychiatrist. I've been diagnosed with shit. I had to take them funny looking ass head meds. That's a part of the origin of my podcast name. You know what I'm saying? It's, the, the trill pill, which I'll explain that in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, yeah, I'm explaining that. I think people get my name, my podcast name, fucked off, and I know it's I don't know, it's whatever, but it's podcasts out here with way worse names. You know what I'm saying? They got these sluts out here with podcasts. The whores, the slut me outs, and the fuck me daddies, and fuck. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. So my podcast name is very safe compared to the fuck me whatever podcast that's getting money. They have to get money talking about getting fucked. But anyway, um, back on topic. Yeah, man. Heroes are human. Make sure you understand that. You can reach out to me at my Instagram, it's Trill Pill Pod. On Facebook, it's Trill Pill Podcast. You can listen to me on Spotify, Google Podcasts. If you can't find me on Spotify, Anchor, or Stitcher, or Radio Public, or anything else, just go to Google and type in Trill Pill Podcast. I guarantee you I'll pop up. You'll see my little partner. You know what I'm saying? You'll see my little partner with the ball on the tongue. You know what I'm saying? You'll see him before you see me. So thank you for listening. Shout out to the 26 subscribers. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? For fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully your subscriptions are not in vain. You understand me? And share my videos, watch my videos, do all that shit everybody else tell you to do. Like, subscribe, all that shit, man. Y'all go do that shit, man. And y'all make sure that it's two things. Stay true and heal. And you gotta mind your mental to be monumental. You understand me? Mind your mental to be monumental. Like the late great Pimp C said, gotta get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your motherfucking mind right. Especially us as black people, man. We gotta get our heads up, get our eyes open, and our ears open, and wake up and start seeing this shit, man. Ain't nothing changed. Years ago, we thought this, it's a new change, it's a new world. This ain't no new world. It's the same world, just evolved into some more sick, wicked shit. Now it's technology attached to it. So make sure you pay attention to that. Make sure you tell people that you love them. Tell them now. If you ain't told them, you can tell them now. We don't know when our day is over. So stop playing with life. It ain't playing with you. Trill Pill Podcast. Shout out to y'all. Much love.